I gotta find some glasses. Ah. Guys, what's going on? This is Oliver from Response AI. And in this video, I'm going to be explaining the exact cold email script that scaled our company to over 200 clients. Now, it's not going to be one of those above the fold theory videos where I talk for 25 minutes. It's just going to show you the exact script and then explain to you in brief why those scripts work so that you can use the exact same strategy every single time and get 30 meetings a month, just like we have. So let's dive straight into the script. So I said I was going to dive straight into the script. So here it is. So the exact script that scaled us to 200 clients and then obviously got us 70 to 100 meetings every single month. So basically, the scripts that I scaled Response AI with, which is my software, they follow this exact pattern every single time, or at least close variations. So basically, how the framework works is that you create a personalized icebreaker with Response AI, which is my shameless plug, and you can use it to make videos, whatever it may be. Now, in general, the anatomy of a good cold email is a hook, a social proof piece, unique mechanism, case study, and then call to action, right? So let's just say that the hook is the very first thing in the email that we are going to be showing the prospect. The hook has to be something extremely enticing and something that catches their attention, just like a TikTok would. Social proof is just telling the prospect that you have worked with similar people to them. The unique mechanism is how you're going to sell a service that is commoditized, but you are doing it slightly differently. So an example would be if you were selling SEO services, you're going to be saying it's the rank and surge, 30-day framework, whatever it may be. Now, the case study is where you tell them again that you've worked with similar people, but you are more specific about the similar person. So whereas social proof, the second step might be something like, we've worked with 30 roofers just like you. The case study is more specific and tells them, look, we worked with ABC Roofing and they generated 30 leads in 30 days, whatever it may be. The final thing is the call to action. The call to action just says, it tells them what to do next. So, I want you to book a call with me, or I want you to read this PDF that I made you, whatever it may be. Now, the cold email campaign had a dozen follow-ups, and I would send them email 1, then email 2, all the way up to email 12. And I don't recommend that for students or for people who are, running cold email anymore, because cold email limits are tightening in 2024. And the more emails in your cadence, the more likely you are to, be marked as spam. You can follow up with people 1,000 times on something like LinkedIn or Twitter, but just don't do it on, cold email. So quick note before we dive straight into the script. So in general, I try to make the lead magnet. So if you book a call, you'll get X or Y. I try and make this a self-qualifier, or in other words, a self-fulfilling prophecy. So what do I mean by this? So let's take an example. If I run a Facebook ad and the Facebook ad says, if you are a pregnant woman in the middle of your 30s and you are looking to, have your baby and then shed the weight that comes with, being pregnant, who's going to download that PDF, right? It's very unlikely that a 32-year-old man with no wife and kids is going to download that. So that's how you can make a lead magnet a self-fulfilling prophecy, or a self-qualifier in this sense. If you offer them a guide to scale their plumbing business from 10 million to 25 million, especially if you're in the SMMA space, it's unlikely that like broke plumbers are going to care about that. It's a silly example, but you get the gist. Now, this is how you can manipulate the stage that your lead is at, right? So if they request and bite at something that is quite advanced inside their industry, they're closer to being a buyer. So an example would be like the plumbing business. Are you at 10 million? Read this PDF. But if they're not at 10 million, they're not going to find that much value in it. So the stuff that's more rudimentary, like how to get your first plumbing client, you're not going to attract the right people to your lead magnet inside the cold email. You're going to get people who have never had any clients or who are struggling. So B2B offers in cold email will inherently lead towards, advanced offers. So a level of sophistication that acts as a self-qualifier. If they're talking about scaling from 10 to 25 million, they have money, or it's at least very likely they do. I know for a fact that if I'm at 6 figures a year with a software company, I don't want to read how you get from 500 million to a billion. I want to read how you get from 100K a year to 500K, because it's about the steps that I'm taking right now. So let's dive straight into the script and explain exactly why these kinds of things work. So, hi, first name. Are you using video to land more demos or video to get more meetings for you or your clients? We developed a tool that helps agency owners and lead gen guys create 10,000 Loom style video pitches in minutes. 20 plus B2B teams have seen a 3x increase in meetings booked. If you're down to do a demo, we'll gift you 5,000 AI video credits and send them over as a thank you. Let me know. So, the first thing you need to know is that the hook here is one that is of intrigue, right? So the hook being, are you using video to land more demos? So in general, when it comes to creating a hook, you need to make sure that the hook is somewhat painful, and you need to take, advice from all of these TikTok ads. You'll get a TikTok ad that starts with like, "Are you struggling, to meet your deadlines?" Like something like that, right? You know that that's me. I am struggling to meet my deadlines, so I'm going to listen to this ad. The hook here is, are you using video to land more demos? So in general, I'm just asking them, like, there's something that a lot of people are doing to get results and you're not doing it. Or are you doing it? And that's the simple question. The next is, we developed a tool that helps agency owners and lead gen guys create 10K Loom video in, Loom video style emails in minutes. Now, that is my unique mechanism. So notice how it would be physically impossible to create 10,000 Loom style videos in minutes. Like, you can't do that. If you were creating a Loom, it would take you 5 minutes, and making 10,000 of them would take you, a year. So that's my unique mechanism. Why is it? It's hook them in. Are you using video? And now we developed a tool that helps you scale video to 10,000x. The idea being, now that we've hooked them in, we're telling them why they need to be even more intrigued by the actual offer with the unique mechanism. Now, here's the case study or the social proof. So 20 B2B teams have seen a 3x boost in meetings booked. Now, in general, in this example email, I didn't actually use a specific case study. So if we go back to the anatomy, it was hook, social proof, case study, unique mechanism, call to action in whatever order. So hook, social proof, unique mechanism, case study, call to action. Now, in general, I didn't have any case study in this email. I just had social proof, unique mechanism, and then a call to action. You'll notice that the call to action is very, very simple. And I'm also baiting the call to action by telling them that they'll get something for free if they meet me for a demo. And this works extremely well. So if you're down to do a 10-minute demo, we'll gift you 5,000 AI video credits and send them over, right? Let's talk about this. So this is what I talked about with the self-fulfilling prophecy. If you're asking for 5,000 AI video credits and you get on a call, it must mean that you're in my target market because you're sending that amount of emails. If I, for example, offered, I'll gift you 100 credits, they're not going to be in my target market because they only have 100 prospects that they're trying to reach out to. Do you understand what I mean? So if I ask them if they want 5,000 credits, the people who get on the phone are likely sending a lot of cold emails, because who wants 5,000 video credits for cold emails? Like, who wants to send 5,000 emails? People who are in my target market. So the same thing applies to your offer. When you are giving away the free thing to encourage them to get on the call, then make sure that it self-fulfills that prophecy that they actually have money to pay you, or that they are in the situation, right? If I'd written this email and said, "Hi, have you ever used cold email?" I'm going to get a lot of people on the phone that have never used it, because the pain in that hook is that they obviously don't. If I said, "Oh, cold emails get you thousands of meetings. Are you using it?" It's like, if they're in pain enough to respond to me, they're probably not using it. And guess what? Like, I don't want to talk to people who aren't using cold email. So when you're going after SMMA clients, you're going after startup clients, whatever it may be, just make sure that hook, and make sure the thing that you're giving away in exchange for a demo fulfills that, or implies that that person is in your market. And it's as simple as that. Now, a few different sort of ninja hacks here is that I said best, Jennifer and Jen. It's ideal, and it increases your results by about 2 to 3x to send cold emails from, female names, right? This is just pretty well-known information at this point on cold email statistics, that women prefer to talk to other women and men prefer to talk to other women, just by and large. So if you have a female inside Gmail, or you have a female employee, or even if you make one up with AI, send those emails from a female name, and then add a small tagline. Notice how to increase deliverability by about 70%, up to 70 to 80%. I typically don't put a link in this first email. I just change the link to say dot like that so that it doesn't actually create the email. And that's basically it. Now, I won't go over too much detail about the other variants, but again, I'm calling them out technographically. So I'm calling them out in a script example. Are you using tools like Loom to send manual videos? So the two pain points in that sort of script is, are you using tools like Loom, which is, technographic? Like, are you using that technology to get sales? If the answer is yes, then to send manual, right? Now, manual, the psychology of the word manual in a world of automation implies pain. So if you're doing something manually, it's probably not efficient. It's probably costing you money. So manual is a really useful tool there to sort of gather some pain in the heart of the prospect. So are you using tools like Loom? Yes, I am. To send manual, in a world of automation, manual video pitches or video intros. Then I immediately flip that script and soothe that pain. So we developed a tool that helps agencies create 10,000 looms. Again, the same unique mechanism as here. 20 B2B teams have seen a 3x, 300% increase boost in meetings booked. If you take a 10-minute demo with us, we'll hand deliver 5,000 examples. Again, I'm not asking for 10 examples or 100 examples. I want people on the phone who are sending volume cold emails. If I offer you 100, you're probably not going to be in my target market. And again, here comes the case study or the call to action. Before the call to action, there's a social proof bit. So 20 B2B teams have seen a 300% meeting boost. And then finally, a bit more of a specific one here where I'm explaining a bit more. It's a bit more wordy. Video pitches increase meetings booked by 300%, right? So this is a statistic that I got from SalesLoft, which is a giant CRM company. And basically, you can use statistics to gather pain in the prospect in the hook as well. So video pitches increase meetings booked. An example for this was if you are using SMMA cold email scripts for, say, plumbing, you can say most plumbers or 96% of plumbers don't know how to use Google Ads, right? And it's like a pain, like, oh, damn, I am a plumber and I don't know how to use Google Ads. Then I use my but statement. So video pitches increase meetings booked. And then comparatively, you create a contrast mechanism that says, but agency owners spend way too much time recording them. So I've given them the advantage. I've told them that video, yes, it does increase meetings booked and it's like confetti. But then I say, but there's a massive problem. The massive problem is that you're spending too much time recording them manually. Now, remember that the two pain points in this unique mechanism here is too much time and then manually. So everyone is in pain about their time. No one has enough time. So too much time recording and then the word manually, they sandwich together to create a lot of pain inside the prospect. Then I dive straight into what makes us different or how I can solve the problem. You can use Response AI to create video pitches in minutes. Then I try and visualize, or I try and help them visualize what this actually looks like. So I say, think Vidyard, Loom, but at massive scale. So when I say think Vidyard or think Loom, those are just tools to help you manually record videos and send them to prospects. I say, think Vidyard, but scaled up, right? Think Loom, but sending thousands. The idea being they need some kind of reference point in their brain to think like, why was this useful again? And the last time they sent a video with Vidyard or Loom, it's like, oh, damn, that did really well. Like the prospect responded to me and he said, thanks for the video. So I've put a positive memory in their head by saying, think about Vidyard or think about the last time you sent a Loom video and how happy the prospect was. And I say, but imagine that at massive scale. And then I dive straight back into the example emails, I'll send you 5,000, whatever it may be. Now, in general, I'll go through a bit of detail here. So the cascading method is that you offer the initial email, which is what these look like, script 1 to 3. The bump email is typically a personalized insight. So the first email might be, John, are you looking to scale your plumbing company? And then the bump email will say, John, I'm just wondering if you got this email. And the reason I reached out is because I noticed that you guys were recently funded $5 million for ABC123. Now, you can use AI like Response AI to write these, but you can also just write them manually if you're doing follow-ups. But obviously, that's not that scalable. Then the third email is a personalized video with a GIF. So I record one video inside Response, and then it creates thousands of those landing pages and custom videos. and you can pop those, videos inside email 3. Now, in general, I won't go into too much detail about that, but what you see here is the same anatomy used for the cold email scripts every single time. In these examples, I just didn't use many case studies because the email was going to get slightly longer than I would like. So if I had said 20 meetings booked, and Steve, for example, booked 30 meetings in 1 month, you see how that's going to start making the email sort of for an optimal size of an email, like a bit too long. Like we want sort of under 100 words ideally, and this is something like 60 words. And that is it. Those are the scripts that are booking us around, 30 to 50 meetings a month. As you can see here, if we go into the script ideas here, we sent 4,000 emails in the last couple of months, and then we booked 6.2% of them replied, and then we got 88 meetings booked at an 80% response rate. So in general, that's the kind of result that you can see when you follow this exact framework and this exact mechanism, and you can get those results every single time. So if we go back to the scripts, that's basically the scripts in a nutshell. And just let me know if you have any questions, or if you have any problems with this or any ideas, just comment them below, and I'll speak to you soon. Take care.